Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to another episode of Write Your Book with God. I have the great pleasure of coming live this morning together with Cindy Ann Rogers, multiple-time international best-selling author, the owner of Raised Bridges LLC, where she helps others tell their stories. Cindy Ann Rogers put together the anthology Unexpected Blessings, and the volume titled Kindness is being released on Amazon today. Cindy Ann Rogers is an optimist and makes it a priority to share positivity in everything she does. When she doesn't work or write, she enjoys collecting vintage treasures, going on rides with her husband in their Model A, gardening and crafting. Hello, Cindy. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're doing this at 6 a.m. because you have to go to work soon. I'm so excited you are here. You have dedicated your life to serving others and helping them through the most difficult times of their lives. I know you do this with your books, but you also do that with your day job.
Yeah, I am a respiratory therapist. I'm the director of 4 departments, so I manage respiratory therapy, cardiology, and neurology. Pretty busy job, but I've been doing respiratory for 35 years, so my entire career has been in the healthcare field. I love what I do. I know that what I do makes a difference, and it's pretty satisfying. And I love people. Kind of fell into that role and just have enjoyed it my whole career.
Yeah. Especially during COVID, that must have been like,
I don't like to think about that. Yeah, that was very challenging. We didn't have resources that we needed, especially at the beginning.
Like directly spoke to me, unexpected blessings. Can you tell us more about the vision behind?
Usually what I write about comes to me like in a dream, or, just like during the day, if I'm sitting quietly, it's God. And I started thinking, especially after COVID, we are so blessed and we have blessings every day. Sometimes we don't see them. Sometimes we don't realize them or think about them, but just little things. And that's kind of the titles of the book. It's Unexpected Blessings. The first one was Finding Joy. How we find joy in our everyday adventures or duties or whatever we have to do. And we need to focus on that more. We need to focus on the positive. We need to, no matter what's going on, there's always something good out of it. And that's kind of how the vision came. All the series is coming from. By forgiving someone or ourselves, we can find a blessing. So that was the second book of the series, is forgiveness. Forgiveness, it's a big one, because until we can a lot of times forgive ourselves, we can't see a blessing. That's kind of how the series came about. And this new book that we just wrote in is kindness. By giving kindness, we are blessed. It just makes the world a better place.
Absolutely. And this loving kindness that we have experienced in the first place, like how he loves to surprise us with kindness over and over again. And this is probably what kept you alive during COVID. In a position that you had to function daily to be able to help others and save lives.
The unexpected blessings, they're out there everywhere. All you have to do is look. And as far as kindness, sometimes it can be as simple as a smile. If you give someone a smile, make it from the heart, and you might have just made their day. We need to be kind. We need to share kindness. I just chose yellow because the summer is so bright, so full of life. I thought of sunflowers when I
Yeah.
chose the color. It just makes me happy.
Yes, it
So,
explains so well the concept like sunflowers always turn their heads to the sun, just
yes.
like we were in every situation, turn our eyes up to God who
Hmm.
gives us the unexpected blessings. And gratitude is such a big key. I wrote
Yes.
my first book about that key. So I'm looking forward to gratitude already. But I know you have not only done this series, you are a
Yeah.
multiple time international bestseller, and I would love to hear about your other book.
The first was about joy. It was from Sheila Farr, and it was actually in the midst of COVID. I contracted COVID early on, and I was pretty ill. And it was after I got well, and I saw the Sheila Farr is my cousin actually, and she lives in another state. But she had put it out there that she was looking for authors just to do a story. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to do that. I've always wanted to write since high school. And actually, you'll see in the book we're just doing, my story is about high school and the teachers that were so kind to me were kind of the turning point for me. And I wrote a story there, was encouraged to write. But it wasn't until now that I'm actually writing.
I love how God multiplied that. You were first
Yes.
invited to contribute to an anthology, and now you are doing the same thing for so
Yeah.
many people who have wanted to be authors.
My biggest blessing is the blessing that the co authors have. Reading their stories, I mean, it brings so much to me in my life. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, what was for yourself your most important book that you think that was my passion project, or is that still coming?
the entire series is my passion. It's the
Yeah.
blessing because I've received the blessing and I want others to have that blessing, the reason for what I'm doing. We have 19 authors and we have, I think, one first time author in the book. It's not only about getting our message across, it is about making dreams come true.
I love the bunch of flowers that's created by the different snippets, and all have
Uh-huh.
experienced God in their lives and received
Yes.
kindness or been able to
Right.
show kindness in a special way. That's so
Mm-hmm.
precious. Thank you so much for sharing. But I am super curious to find out more also about your challenge that you gave yourself during last November, because that's an intriguing book you managed to write in such a short time.
I wrote a novel and it's fiction. I had something happen to me years ago. It's one of those things you just got to separate yourself from. You want to get it out because it is therapeutic. So I fictionalized it. I went through a lot of grief. My faith is what got me through it. And I tried to put that in the book, but it was so much that I went through. I had to stay positive to be able to get through it. I had to, I mean, just to go to work during that time was difficult.
And you wrote this book in a month?
I drafted my first draft. I did in a month. My first I did. That was in November. I had already been playing with it, but I didn't have, like any structure to it at all. It was just notes here and there. A NaNoWriMo, the structure and the push, you got a timeline, you got a deadline, and it's just the draft. You have to go back later and do all your editing and all that stuff, but yeah, 50,000 words in a month. I actually got a calendar out. Like, I knew I had to work. I blocked off all that time and I said, okay, I have this time here. So I had almost like appointments to write. It was very therapeutic to write it. I'm torn between continuing on with that and which way to turn it. So I want to be more focused on the positive out of what happened because there was some positive.
Yeah.
My spouse had passed away. And it was just those years after that. It was hard. But at some point in our lives, we all experience grief.
You have a husband now?
Yes,
So,
he is my gift. My husband.
you have so many
I,
things going
I don't
on. You're
know
such
how he
amazing.
copes with me. He's such a kind, caring person. And usually, if I'm writing, it's early in the morning. I wake up, have a dream, or pray, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's what I need to write about. So I will write as it comes to me. Usually, I map out like an hour in the morning. I wake up early and I can sit quietly and write in the evenings. That's kind of what I do. And we don't really watch any TV, so we both have some quiet time to ourselves.
I
Yeah.
love how God knows how to redeem the
Mm-hmm.
hard seasons in our
Yes.
lives and restore a kind husband.
Right.
And now you have stories to tell, people you can reach because of it all. Bring a light and hope
Bring a
to.
light.
Maybe you can tell us what the shoes for Ellie is about.
Oh my! I may cry during this one too. Miss Sabrina, when she delivered that story to me, I was just like, oh my goodness. It touched my heart so much. She is a local author. She lives probably about 20 miles from me, and she's a nurse. And we have a mutual friend who is also a nurse who lost her daughter. So through it, her friends and her family, after her daughter's death, pulled together and said, okay, let's do something in memory of Ellie. Ellie loved shoes. She was 18 months. So they started a shoe campaign to collect shoes for foster care. Every year they have a shoe drive for foster care children, and they give all those shoes along with donations and stuff like that. And they give it in memory.
Precious. Would you have like one piece of advice for writers, something that you wish you had known before you started?
Oh, wow. Right, just right. If you have something tugging at your heart or something just that keeps coming to your mind, sometimes it is a message and you do need to write it. Doesn't have to be perfect. And if it's something you want to publish or something you want to put out there is so many ways to get published, and you can do it yourself. Writing can be very therapeutic.
Precious. Thank you so much for coming on.